Okay, good morning, hello, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope it's good. My name is Greg. I'm the marketing manager here at Metastock, and we're so grateful that you've joined us today for another live presentation. Today's webinar is about becoming a successful trader with Metastock and is being presented by our very own Edward Stemplevich. Edward is a great guy. He's one of our lead sales guys, and there's a good reason for that. It's because he's a very genuine, good, down-to-earth person, and I know you're going to learn a lot from what he has to say today. We've got some other things coming up on January 29th. Let's see if I can pull it up here for you really quick. I forgot to do it before I started my presentation, which is so bad. Well, can't do it. So on January 29th, if you go to metastock.com, there's a banner right across the top, and it talks about our Euro Summit. That is on January 29th. If you go there, you can click on that banner and go right to the form and then register for that event. I'll go ahead and put that here in the comments too on YouTube. As well, you should know that this week is the very final week of our holiday event, a multi-month holiday event. It's a great sale that we run every year, and we extend it through January, and this is the very last week. It's over on January 21st. You'll probably receive an email about it if you're on our list. If you're not, go ahead and go to metastock.com/HS23. Metastock.com/HS23. HS23. We have some great deals, especially if you're new to Metastock. You can get some great deals on Metastock and Metastock add-ons and a lot of great things. So I know you really don't want to miss that. All right, we are Metastock. Maybe you haven't heard of us. Maybe you have heard of us. I don't know. Let's see. I want to make sure I've got this video lined up okay for you before I boot it up. Yeah. So we are Metastock. If you don't know about us, go ahead and take a second to watch this little presentation.
Hi there, Greg Lewis, Metastock Software. As the marketing director, I get asked all the time, what is Metastock? How can I help my trades? Well, stick around for about 3 minutes and I'll tell you. Metastock is an award-winning software and data package that has been helping traders for over 35 years. Simply put, Metastock is a tool for traders like you to analyze the markets. Metastock helps you take the guesswork out of trading by offering a methodical, systematic approach to some key questions all traders come up against. Questions like, how do I decide which securities to trade when there are literally thousands to choose from? Which strategy should I use, and how do I test that strategy before spending my first trading dollar? When should I enter and exit a trade? How can I effectively manage the securities I'm interested in? And of course, how do I know where prices will go next? At the core of Metastock are the Power Tools. The Power Tools give professional-grade analysis tools to private traders like you and me. You can scan the market with the Metastock Explorer to filter and sort securities that show buy and sell signals based on your criteria. The Metastock System Tester lets you test most strategies through a process called backtesting, which allows you to see how your strategy would have performed over time. You can easily manage and monitor the securities you are interested in with Quote Center. Quote Center lets you sort on a variety of criteria to view the data that's important to you. Then just double-click on a security if you want to see its chart. With the Metastock Forecaster, you can even take advantage of patented technology to view probable future prices. If you're an options trader, you're going to love Metastock's Option Scope. Option Scope puts all the critical info at your fingertips, displaying sortable, customizable, color-coded options data, including the Greeks. And Metastock has solutions for traders of all levels and interests. If you're just getting into trading, you will appreciate the education offered by our many built-in systems. In addition to pointing out buy and sell signals, Metastock explains how they work in an easy-to-follow commentary window. Metastock has built-in systems based on popular strategies like MACD, Bollinger Bands, turtle trading, candlesticks, and many more. Metastock even has the very popular and exclusive Rahul Mohindar Oscillator System, or simply known as the RMO. And as you become a more experienced trader, Metastock grows with you. Advanced analysts will enjoy the comprehensive list of trading systems and indicators and the ability to build their own systems. And if you're a day trader, you can't do better than Zenith, the real-time news, data, and analysis package offered by Refinitiv, a world leader in market data. Add on the world-class support, and it's not hard to see why Metastock has won the Stocks and Commodities Reader's Choice Award for 26 consecutive years. To find out more about Metastock and how it can help your trading, visit metastock.com or contact a product professional via phone, email, or chat.
Okay, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to that little presentation. Clearly, we'll be talking about Metastock today since that is our company and that is the subject of today's webinar. If you have any questions about what Metastock is or what it does, Edward is very good at answering those questions, and feel free to chat in any questions you have here on YouTube. By the way, I see many of you are here, but no one's saying hello. Go ahead, say hello. Let us know where you're from. We're very casual here. We encourage any comments or feedback so long as they're respectful and nice. Hey, play nice. Also, if you would like and you like what you see today, go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe, and make sure to ring that bell so you can hear us every week when we have live presentations, as we do most every week, a few times a week. Once again, we have the all-day Euro Summit, online Euro Summit, coming up on January 29th. In order to register for that, just go to our homepage and click on the large banner at top, and you can go right there. Also, this is the last week of our holiday sales event, the HS23 event. Go to metastock.com/HS23, and you can see what's going on with that. And also make sure you stick around for the end of the webinar today, because usually the sales guys pull a pretty good deal, and I'm sure you won't want to miss that. So if you're new to Metastock, please enjoy what we've got to say. If you've been with Metastock for a while, we hope you enjoy this review of what you can do with the Metastock Power Tools, which help you to scan and explore and test, and just a great deal for anybody who's into trading and technical analysis. If you're a Okay, so let's see, we're starting here in 1 minute. I'm going to go ahead and let you listen to some jazzy music for about 1 minute, and we'll be getting started. Thank you again so much for joining us, and successful trading.
Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry, Edward, can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
I
hear
can hear
you.
you. Can
So I did mention, I forgot to mention to people while we're coming on in the pre-broadcast that Edward is not feeling 100% today, so he didn't want to broadcast himself. He probably didn't have time to primp in the way he normally would want to, so he'll just be off camera today. And Edward, how are you feeling?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm feeling okay. I did just get over, or I'm still getting over the coronavirus.
See, no, I thought that
It's
didn't
been,
happen anymore. Coronavirus, you say?
yeah,
Wow. Well,
yeah, it's
I'm
been
gl-
rough. The cough is terrible.
I'm glad you're feeling better. I haven't heard too many people getting corona down here in Texas, but I guess it's still a thing. Everyone be careful out there.
Yeah.
Hey, so I just want to take a second and get out of the way. Edward, so most people here at Metastock have been here for about 20 to 25 years. Edwards is one of our young guns. I think he's only been here about 7 or 8 years. How long have you been with the company?
7 years in April.
Oh, I can't believe it's been that long. Anyway, Edward is one of our leading sales guys. He's a great guy, very knowledgeable about metastock and trading, and I know you're going to enjoy the time you spend with him today. Other little things I don't know about Edward. Let's see, Edward, tell us something I didn't say. He's a father, a husband, a trader. What else? What did I miss?
Yeah. And I'm a gamer.
A gamer. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, Edward, I'll get out of your way and make sure you do go ahead and read the disclaimer because I did not do that. Have a good break a leg.
Thank you, Greg. Will do. All right. Thanks, you guys, for everyone that is here today. First, I'll start with this disclaimer, and then I have another one for you guys. But this demonstration is designed to instruct you on using Metastock and accompanying software plugins, and is not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using the specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. Metastock shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of their software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. Metastock does not endorse the purchase of any securities, nor is it paid for the promotion of any security. No information contained in this presentation should be construed as investment advice or a solicitation to buy any security. So this is just going to be a presentation today. The other disclaimer is, yes, I'm still going through the coronavirus. I have a very nasty cough. I'm going to try to mute myself anytime it starts coming on. I do apologize if I fail to mute it in time. I definitely don't want you guys to have an earful of my coughing fits that go on. But yeah, keep that in mind. If I randomly mute myself, I'm just trying to keep you guys away from hearing my cough like crazy. So anyways, let's get started. Yeah, again, my name's Edward. Here's my contact information. You can save it. If you have any questions about anything that I showed today, about Metastock, about any products, or you just want to say hello, feel free to copy my info, send me an email, call me. Anything works. Happy to talk with you. Before jumping into the software, I do like to go through a little bit of history of Metastock itself. Just that way, those of you that haven't looked into Metastock before know a little bit about us and why we are who we are. So we started back in 1982, which is actually pretty impressive if you think about it. I don't know how many people had computers back in 1982. I wasn't even born yet. So really, we've pioneered Metastock, and we have continued to work on it since then, which is why I think we are so successful here and people love Metastock. We were purchased by Reuters, which a lot of you may know, some of you may not, but they do put out a lot of Reuters articles you might have seen. But we were purchased by them in 1995, and then we actually released a real-time data feed based on their technology in 2005, which was a pretty big deal. And then we have another product called Metastock Zenith, which we're not going to go through today, but it is a huge thing. We released that in 2012, which is, yeah, another whole fundamental system, and it's the live data and stuff. Very awesome product. If you're into fundamentals at all, I'd look into that. We then bought ourselves out from Reuters back in 2013 and became private, which was a big deal to us as well. One of the big things that I think is very important to also understand, when you're looking around at different softwares and stuff, you always want to understand credibility behind the software. I think this is one of the biggest things for us, in my personal opinion. A lot of you may know Task Magazine. We have for 30 years in a row been selected as a top software in its price category by People's Choice Awards. So that was just like voters that has all decided that Metastock was the top software for 30 years in a row, which is huge. There's a lot of software out there, and to be consistently number one by People's Choice Award, I think is a huge credibility there. So definitely, keep your eyes peeled for sure when I'm going through the software. You can see kind of why we are and have been voted #1 for this long. Today, what we are going to talk about is really the basics of charting and kind of what you can do in Metastock with charts. I know a lot of softwares have the basic chartings, of course, go through that a little bit, but the primary focus is really going to be how you can use some of the tools to identify the best trades available at the time or the day that you scan, and how to find something that can help you with trading, and you can follow a study or your own system, and it'll guide you in and out of trades. And there's tools that really help basic traders, new traders, or even experts. And it doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum, you can take advantage of these tools to really help your current trading styles and stuff, and take advantage of that. So we're going to jump into the software now. And one thing I do want to mention, feel free to ask any questions that you have. I'm going to do my best to answer those when they come through. Let's see. So this is kind of what the software looks like when you open it for the first time. Pretty simple, buttons everywhere, and then a big gray screen or background there. The main thing about this is our power console. The power console is where all the power lies. It's the most important button, in my opinion, in the software, because here you will notice when it opens up, we have many different tabs available. Stretch this just to make sure it's very viewable. But we have a charting tab, a quote center tab, a system tester, a forecaster, and option scope. Those are our primary tools in Metastock. And they're pretty self-explanatory for the most part. Your charting tab allows you to kind of view, like scan through data to open up a chart. It gives you all your little watch lists and shows you all your data in front of you. You can also customize a chart upon opening it. So if you have specific templates, which we offer templates, so you can create your own, or you can open up any of the templates available in the software, which there are a lot. One thing to keep in mind is there will be a bit more than what's standard in Metastock here, because we do have add-ons and plugins installed into the software, which they always include additional templates and scans and stuff like that. But there's a lot of templates to begin with, so you can always open up a chart with a template of your liking. You can customize, how much data the chart will open up in. So like I can open up a chart that is pulling 3,000 days worth of data, but I'm only going to have it pull or show immediately 250 days, a full year. You can change all that stuff. You got your basic customizations like that. You can also open up things from a specific date to another specific date as well. Let's see. And then we have a quote center. We're not going to really go into that, but quote center, it's basically allows you to create watch lists, so you can see all your data in front of you, who your top movers are within your portfolio, how many gainers versus losers there are. You just basically see all your data in front of you. The Explorer is the scanning tool, which I feel like this is one of probably the most important tools, in my opinion, in the software. And I'm sure a lot of traders would agree, because this is where you're going to find a lot of your opportunities, combined with other things, of course. But this is where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, because you can choose a scan. You can choose what you're going to scan against. I can decide to choose a candlestick pattern, and I want to look through the entire S&P 500 to see all of the securities that are meeting the criteria of this pattern. We can also customize the scan a little bit here on the side, similar to the charting tab, where you can choose how many records are going to load, which this is important depending on specific systems or studies that you use and open up with, because some studies require a lot of data. So typically like 1250 is a good point there. But something for like a candlestick pattern, you don't have to load that much data immediately. But that's that. You can choose your intervals as well. If you're going to scan against the daily chart, maybe you want to scan against, you're doing day trades, you want to scan on a 5-minute interval, you can do that, or whatever you want. You can customize things as well. And then the next tools are system testing, which we're also going to get into this later. But basically, it's the same layout as the scanning. You can choose your system that you want to test, and then you can choose the list of securities you want to test it against, and then you'll get a whole bunch of information customize that. And then we got the forecaster, which we're not going to get into, an option scope, which is good for viewing raw option data. And it also gives you some strategies that you can look at, and it'll give you like percent chance or some statistics based on the strategy there. But it's really for looking at the option data. Let's open up a chart. Excuse me. So we're going to go to the chart tab here, and I'm going to open up a simple chart. Let's just do something very popular. Let's say Apple. There's a few ways we can open up a chart. You can type it up here, aapl.o. We do offer global data. And actually, one thing that you should note here is right here. Oh, I typed in Apple up there. So I'll show you all the ways. But you can see up here it says instruments 0 of 330,876. That number right there, that big 330,000 number, is all the instruments available to us in Metastock. What's important about that is wherever you're at in the world, we probably have access to the exchanges that you trade. So Metastock is great for practically anybody in the world. I think that's awesome. It's not just one market, right? We will let everyone use the software. So anyways, when opening up a chart, let's say like Apple, because Apple is traded on multiple exchanges, right, around the world, some securities will have a suffix in them. .o refers to the NASDAQ. So I type in appl.o, and then you can click open chart. Another way you can view or locate securities is typing it in this little search box right here, appl.o. And what it does is there it is, I didn't do the dot. But it basically, what am I doing wrong? I think I'm typing the, you know what? I can do this. I think I'm typing the symbol wrong, so I'm just going to type this. You can type in the company name, and then it'll also like basically shorten the entire list and zone in on everything that meets that criteria. So I'll open up North America Equities, the NASDAQ, and it's aapl.o. I don't know how I forgot that. I'm going to blame the Rona. But yeah, so you can look up securities that way. It's pretty easy to find what you're looking for. So I'm going to we're going to type in the symbol and click open chart down there in the bottom. And here's a chart. I'm actually going to, let's do a new chart, new fresh template, which I believe there's these buttons right here, apply a clean template, and I'll explain that to you. This is what Metastock will look like for the first time when you open up charts. It's pretty clean. But as you can see, the chart I did have open was there's a lot going on. You can customize things pretty good. For an example, like for the charting style, if I don't want bars, I can double click on things and it'll open up parameters, and I can quickly change them to candlesticks. And I can change the colors of the up color, the down color, the up fill, and the down fill. Let's see here, I'm getting
Hey, Edward.
All right, hey, Francis. Yes.
Edward, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, really quick. I forgot to mention, I didn't know if you were monitoring the YouTube chat or if you wanted me to. There is one question. I didn't know if you were going to take time to answer that or not.
I just barely looked at it, and I was going to respond to the YouTube chat. So I will monitor it. I'll try to keep a better eye on it.
That's fine. Also, I did want to take a second to say I may have misspoke. When I said you have COVID, I said, is COVID still a thing? Well, of course, it's still a thing, and of course, people are still suffering from it. I didn't mean to suggest otherwise. It's just I haven't heard of anybody personally that's had COVID for a while. So anyway, hang in there. You're doing great, and I'll get out of your way.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg. Okay, let's see. So there's a couple of things here. Robin, how do you rate what criteria you use to determine which stocks are best for the strategies you trade in current market conditions? That's a great question, Robin. We will go through that. What we're going to do is go through the system tester. The system tester will give us that information, and we'll go through that soon here. And then Francis, I have to nip out for a while, pick up the recordings later. Hey, thanks for chiming in, Francis. Appreciate that. Let me know if you have questions when you do watch the recording. Okay, moving on. So this is how we pick things, customize our charts. you double click on the price action there and you get this menu. You can change parameters of things. That's how everything works here though. So for an example, you know what, I'm gonna make an up green, or the up candles green, down candles red, just to add some color to the chart here. Oh, and then let's do the fill colors. Let's do blue and let's do like yellow, just for fun. Okay, so anyways, added a little bit of color there. That's how you change things. You just double click on things. When adding an indicator, you'll see all these buttons up here actually, and on the side. Starting down here, these are different templates you can save to. So like number 1 is applying a clean template. I clicked on that and it kind of just gave me a fresh chart. Number 2 shows like there's a popular template theme with I think different indicators on it, but you can customize those. If you have several templates, you can make little shortcuts for them and quickly click into them and view different things like that on the same chart. Above that, we have drawing tools. You can draw. There's a lot of different popular drawing studies, Fibonacci's, grids, you can draw circles, just all the drawing tools is up here. And then you also have like lines that you can place and you can draw trend lines. One of the things in Metastock 18, which was a new feature in fact, is when drawing trend lines, you can have it automatically show you the percent of change during that period, as well as how many periods are a part of that line that you drew, that we added in 18. Everyone was very happy about that. Also, double clicking on something like the trend line gives you that properties menu. You can change things about it. See right here, we have show label, performance info, percent change. If we were to take that off and apply, that would be taken off of that line there. Just goes to show, double clicking on things to pull up the settings. It's pretty straightforward and easy to maneuver and deal with. There's other things like we have our crosshair. A lot of people like crosshairs when looking at charts. Well, you can apply that, of course, going through that. And then up here we have other shortcuts to primary things, copy, print, cut. Then you have over here in the top with this little character with the hat on, that's an expert advisor. We're going to get into that very momentarily, but then you have a shortcut to indicator builder, system tester, the explorer. You can quickly open those things from here. So now what if we want to apply an indicator? I'm going to just delete these things, which this is the indicator quick list right here. You click this and it kind of just shows you all the indicators available, which there are a lot. When you start Metastock for the first time, there are a lot. When you start using plugins and installing add-ons, there are a lot more. So there's a lot that you can play with and use. And of course, you have all of your basic indicators, your most common indicators, moving averages, MACD, oscillators, all towards the top, alphabetic order, easy to find. So that's the indicator the quick list right there. Down below, you can see one of the new features in Metastock 18 as well is you can see the price action in the requested data range that we pulled. If you remember, I said when we opened the Power Console, that's what I did right now. I clicked on the P. The data request range right here, it's set to default. I can't remember exactly how much that is, but whatever this number is set to, if you did 1250, for example, and opened up a chart, this right here, this entire price line, or this price action down here in the line chart, it's going to kind of show you what the price did during that requested date range. And then right here, you can see it's a little brighter. That's what you see on your screen. So if I grab this, kind of unpinch that, it'll start pulling out, zooming out, and then also pinching it back in, we'll zoom in. So that's kind of what that is. And it's kind of nice being able to see price action right there, because if there's something that you want to jump to, you can quickly click there and it jumps right here. You can see how low it is. Yeah, you can jump around that easy. You can also double click on the dates there, customize things that you might need to customize. I think it's really similar to when customizing it in the Power Console. Then you have these buttons here. If you want to change the periodicity or the interval, you can click that letter D. That's daily. We can go to hourly and quickly just switches to hourly. And all indicators that we put up there will all automatically change to whatever interval. It'll adjust to whatever interval you have. And then there's also zoom out and zoom in buttons. And one big thing we did with 18 is there's different themes we can apply to charts. That's this little paint board looking thing right here. You click that, and there's a bunch of different themes. We have dark mode, you can click. We have, let's see. Chrome is pretty cool. I like that one. There's also like oscilloscope. I like that one a lot, it's pretty neat. But for today's purpose, let's see, black gradient. Yeah, there's a lot you can play with and choose whatever ones you like the most. And then we have bright white. We'll keep it bright white. I feel like it might be easier for everyone to see. So that's all like the charting that we have available. Once you get used to that, you can start applying those different things of your liking. Let's go ahead and apply an indicator. I know a lot of people, of course, would use the MACD. You can click on the MACD there and grab it by clicking and dragging to the screen. It will automatically just go to its own window. Upon applying it, you will get a properties window, just like we saw earlier with the other things, where you can customize the indicator that you're applying. You can change colors, you can add lines to the indicator, change, the signal time period instead of 9, you can do 14, whatever you want. But we're going to keep it as the default. And we'll click OK. And we now have the indicator plotted right here below. And that's really how you plot indicators. So you can also do the same thing for like moving averages. Just drag it on there, find it, drag it on, and choose the time period, let's say 20 period. And I want to do an exponential moving average. There's a bunch of different types you can do. You can change it. You can do it off the close, off the open, high, low. On average, it's on the close, I believe. You can change it to whatever you'd like. Change the color. We do a line. You can do dotted lines. Yeah, you can customize it however you want. Let's do it a bit thicker so we can see it easier, and click OK. And that's the 20 period exponential moving average up there. You can add multiple, so if you're looking for crosses and stuff, of course you'll be able to identify that when you add them. So that's quickly how you do the indicators, and if you double click on things, it'll open the properties window again. As you can see right there, I'll double click on the moving average. If I want to change it, I can very easily. You can just change things very easily. Also, indicator values will show up on the price bar on the side there to the right, which is very useful. Now, when we're trading with the MACD, most of you might know what we're looking for. There's like 3 different things you can do with the MACD, right? But I feel like the most common signal to go long, for an example, is we wait for this fast line to cross over the dotted line. Crosses up above it, you go long. Crosses below it, you go short. Of course, that's not you can use it as its own system, but it's good for confirmation. However, we know around this area, right here, we would go long. And we'll see right there. That's where we'd probably go long after it crossed above that dotted line. And then we'd probably go short around right, maybe right here. So long, that's a nice trade, right? If you just followed the MACD and did that. But instead of having to eyeball indicators and things, the Expert Advisor tool, I'll keep that line there. The Expert Advisor tool allows you, not allows you, it paints the signals of these criterias on the chart for you. So you don't need to eyeball things. And here, what I'll do is I will actually open it up. Here it is when you open it. I'll make it bigger. I guess I can't make it wider, but all of these are different criterias and studies that will paint stuff onto your chart and give you different information. It also comes with commentary. There's a lot. Standard in Metastock, I believe there's probably over 120. I don't know exactly, but there's quite a bit that you can go through. They all have their own power to them. They all have their own thing that you can use to help you identify trades and get more information from the charts. But for this, we will look for the MACD. It's also pretty straightforward. Templates that you apply if they have an expert advisor. Expert advisors are typically named the same thing. MACD, let's find it. So there's a lot of add-ons here. Let's go down to the M's. MACD by Metastock. There's that one. We click it and we can click attach. You can also create new ones. If you know how to do formulas in Metastock, you can create your own things. There's a lot of customization with that. It's really cool. The formula language is actually really easy to learn. You don't need to be an expert at coding or anything like that. The formula language itself is easier than Excel. Very easy to use. We have materials to help you learn the language, or you don't have to. You can also hire anyone on like our formula team by sending in a request, and they can help you build things as well. But anyways, for the MACD, we'll click attach and close. And now we can, it looks like I was a day too short on the short or the sell. But we can see where I marked this, the line crossed up, it gave us that buy signal to go long. And then the short signal, I was off by 1 day. It's 1 day behind. And see, that's why it's nice to have a tool like this. I was off. This would be more spot on. It knows exactly when it goes below that line. Even my eyeballing it didn't tell. It looked like it was the same to me. But anyways, yeah. So that's kind of the power of the expert advisor. Not only that, but we can attach a commentary window. When you right click a chart, it gives you settings. I can hover over expert advisor, and then I can click commentary. Now what this is going to do is it's going to provide us with information based on the MACD commentary on, and you can move it around, or you can snip it to the side or clip it to the side, or whatever side, up, above, below, right, or left. But you can see this arrow over here on the very right side of the chart. The commentary is going to give you information based on the day or the bar that the arrow is pointing at. So right now you can see that it's talking about MACD it gives you information the MACD can provide buy and sell indications in 3 ways: signal line crossovers, overbought, oversold conditions, and divergences. Crossovers, currently the MACD is bullish since it is trading above its signal line. The MACD crossed above its signal line 3 periods ago. So it even explains all that. 1, 2, 3. You can see the buy or the long signal right there. Again, this isn't a recommendation to get into trades. We're just showing you kind of how things work. But if I click above the bar or below it, the arrow will move towards that day. There's also a couple arrows up here above the commentary where you can quickly select days as well and go over right or left, or all the way to the right. Okay, so with the commentary being on the day of the buy signal, you can see that it says kind of similar. It's bullish since it's trading above its signal line, happened 0 lines ago. It also tells you whether it's overbought or oversold, which it's not, and there's been no divergent signals within the last 5 periods. So yeah, that's great to have information like that as well, because there's a lot of different studies in the program. So when you apply different things, you're going to get a lot of different information, which, it's good when you start finding things that you like. And we're going to show you how you can find things that you like, and how our tools help you with that. So yeah, anytime you can go and change the expert advisor, and if you have the commentary up, it's going to automatically plot that new commentary. Let's see, let's apply a PS system. PS systems are awesome. Back testable, they give good information. Let's do bull power, bear power 1. Click that, attach, close. And now you can see little arrows. There's a long position right here, and then it tells you to exit over here. And you can just kind of see that throughout. Look, it gave a long position the same day as the MACD. But anyways, what we can do is let's go over a signal, and then you can read again about that system, what it's doing, and it'll give you information just so you know what it's doing. So that's very helpful. That's how we would apply systems to a chart and quickly switch over to different things, and you can again do different templates and stuff. But now let's like we have a great tool that points these things out to us on the chart. What if we could scan for those signals? And what if we can, there's what, thousands of stocks in the US exchanges. There's like 10,000 or 12,000 or something. We could scan through all those and we can look for signals. Let's jump into the scanner now. I'm going to close this chart. I'll click close right here. When you close things, it'll also ask if you want to save charts because you can save them. Right here, this template is Steve Bigelow's candle profit system. Very popular template or plugin. If you like candlestick patterns, this is a great one to look into. Points out all the patterns that he used and everything. So we go back to the Power Console by clicking that P up there, and then we go to the Exploration tab or Explore tab. And again, up top, we have all of our different explorations. So we're going to find one. But because there are so many, we gave you the option to add them to your favorites list. So if there's things that you care about the most while not caring about the others, you can always right-click on something and add to favorites. And then that way, you kind of set it up to your liking. You can jump to those scans really quickly without seeing all of them, because there's a lot. Another thing you can do is you can always search for them. For an example, MAC, because we're going to look at a MACD scan since we're talking about that. So I type in MAC, and everything that has MACD in it pops up. And there's even forecaster scans with the MACD. And then here are the MACD systems inside Metastock. MACD expert system, MACD buy signal. Let's do the expert system. We'll click that. That's what we're scanning for. We've selected one scan throughout the whole list. Now, I'm going to pull this other thing up, and it's going to give us a list of all the securities. What we're going to do is we're going to scan an index. We'll do the S&P 100. It's pretty easy to find. Again, you can customize all this if you double-click on instruments. Right-click on it. You can manage your public lists, and you can change what you see in here so you don't have a whole bunch of data if you don't want to see it. Anyways, we go under index constituents over here, open that up. These are all the indexes, and I'll just do S&P 100. It'll be pretty quick. We're going to scan on a daily basis, and we're going to use today's date and time right now. We're going to use a filter, meaning it's only going to show us the results of those that meet the criteria. It's not going to show every stock on the list. That way. We just want to see the ones that have a buy signal. Let's see. And we click Start Exploration down there. And it's pretty quick. MACD is pretty quick overall. So you can see when we run an exploration, there's a couple green bars. There's information what scan we're running, date and time, the interval, periods, loaded. How many results there were? There was 11 and then 90 were rejected. Down here below is all the results that were approved. So if you can see there's a buy signal, sell signal, overbought, oversold. If you click the buy signal, it'll sort them. The number 1 means they have a buy signal. 0 is no. So you can see all these below. The 2 top ones do not have any buy signal. And then on the sell column, if we were to sort that, there's 3 of them had a sell signal, several had overbought, and then some were oversold, or 1. So what we're going to do is we'll open up one of the buy signals. And this is how you quickly come across information for trading opportunities. General Dynamics, Netflix. Let's open up General Dynamics. Click Open Chart over here when you select it. And then we'll minimize that. And let's do a clean template again. To get a clean template for that, let's go back to our awesome Expert Advisor window here, and we'll look for the MACD. Let's see, it's right. I missed it. Excuse me. Okay, so MACD by Metastock attach. As you can see, we had a buy signal, and today we have another one. But this isn't a recommendation to buy it, just showing you that you can quickly scan for opportunities. In fact, the scanning is very customizable where you can apply multiple systems, not just the MACD. We can also add other things that would, let's see, let me give you an example here. Let's take the candlestick reversal patterns or the doji patterns. You can click that as well. And then what it's going to do is there's 2 scans that are selected now. you can use the results from the preceding exploration, which means first it's going to scan for MACD buy signals. Then it's going to use the results that were approved, and it's going to look for doji patterns on any of those signals. So that means we have double confirmation. We're looking for things that have potentially a buy signal, sell signal, whatever you want, but then that also have doji patterns. And so you can start combining things, which can give you a more powerful opportunity. And you can put as many as you'd like, and you can create your own scans and customize them too to show whatever information you'd like on the results page. As you remember, maybe what I mean is when you create a scan, you can have up to I think 12 different columns of different indicators and values that it'll show you. So when you pull up a list, you can see a lot of different information in front of you and sort of pick which ones you like. Now, that's basically how you would scan the markets for any type of criteria you would like, and quickly zone in on things. But how do we know the MACD is something that we would want to use? And we can put anything, replace MACD with anything there. But we have a lot of studies, we have a lot of systems. There's so much I'm overwhelmed, especially being new to Metastock. I feel like that's where the system tester is very helpful, because we can use this and we can see which systems are profitable and just get a bunch of data to see which ones have worked, how accurate they've been, how good they've been compared to buying and holding. And so we're going to test that with the MACD system. So it looks, again, similar layout to the exploration page. I'm going to find the MACD, and I can also just type in MAC because that was much easier. And we'll do the MACD expert system. There's also optimization testing, where the system tester will see which settings of the indicators worked the best and compare them for you and give you the best settings so you can start using those settings. But we're going to do the basic expert system. And then one thing that's neat is when you run a scan, as you know, you have all this data in front of you. But when you run a scan, there's actually a list for last exploration results. So we can go through that and we can see these were all the securities that were on that exploration we just did, and we can backtest all of them. Or we can backtest just whatever ones, had the buy signals. But in this case, let's just backtest all of them. So I'm going to click that. We're going to backtest the MACD system against all that. We're going to do both trades, short and long signals. We're going to test this on 500 days worth of data, which is about 2 years. Just to see how well it's performed over 2 years on the daily interval. And then there's a trade options button you can click. And this allows you to set up a system test that would relate mostly to you and your portfolio stuff and your broker settings. So you can put in how big your account size is. You can do a points only test, but if you just want to see how many points it moved and you don't want to, it's good for FX testing and stuff. But we'll do initial equity. Let's just do 50,000. And then you can choose how much of that portfolio you want to trade every single time a trade occurs in that 2 years. You can decide that you want to trade 100 shares every time, or you can do a transaction costs or percent of your equity. So we can do $5,000 every time, or for the percent of equity, we can do, let's say 25% of our equity of the 50,000 will be traded every time, which of course you can do what you want. This is for testing purposes. So we'll click OK. Oh, but also before that, there's broker stuff. You can put in your margin requirements, interest rates, have those commissions if you got to do that, and kind of calculates all that. And then also slippage and trade price. You can choose realistic market prices, whether it gets out on the closing or the opening the next day, but we'll do realistic market prices. Click OK. So we set that up. Now we can click Start System Test just to make sure I have that. Yep. Okay. And these are pretty fast, especially if it's not a complex system. As you can see, we're done already. Here is kind of the page that we get. So with all those results that we got, that were providing some sort of signal on the MACD system, right? The expert advisor, the study. you can see a bunch of like the green bars here and the red bars. That's your profit over the 500 periods, the 2 years. That's how much you profited. There's a bunch of those numbers down here, your net profit. If you click it, it'll sort those bars, the net profit. So the Tesla, based on the MACD signals, was the most profitable. It was a 42% portfolio gain. That's huge. Remember, when we were testing this, we were only using 25% of the portfolio for every trade, meaning 75% of the money we have was just sitting there doing nothing, while the other quarter was doing everything. And it increased the portfolio by 42% over the 2 years. It had a total of 121 trades. 63 were profitable, 58 were not profitable, meaning our winners were huge compared to our losers. That's always good to know. The average profit was $1.64 versus the average loss. So what we want to do is, we can look into this more by double clicking on this, and we'll get a lot more data here that we can view. There's a lot here going on, but really quick, performance up here, you can see the profit again, $21,433 over the 2 years. Performance was 42%. Now, here's a big one. If we did buy and hold profit over that 2 years, we actually would have lost $3,980. The MACD well outperformed buying and holding over the 2 years. This is important because when you're trying to find new systems, we want to look for things that can outperform buy and hold. And even if they can't, what's important is how long you were in a trade for. Because when you're buying and holding, if you're in for something for 2 years, here, let me see. It shows you how long you were in it. Out of market timing, average. But I don't see it right here. Well, the total trade length was 324 of those days. So 324 of the 500 days, we were inside of the trade. But if you were buying and holding, you're in it for 500 days. So keeping that in mind, if you find something that's almost performing as good as buy and hold profit, not nearly as good, but you might not have been in the market for half of the time as compared to buy and hold. So you can be using the funds for other things too. So just being able to see all that, I feel like, is very important if you take the time to look at these things. Gives you a lot of great information like that. There's also other tabs up here though, like you can see all the orders that happened when they happened, positions, equity, system, information about the system, what it did. You can see the settings of the system, the formula of the system if they're open code. But the equity line, the equity page right here is one of my favorites, aside from the summary, because it shows us over that 500 periods what our portfolio did, right? And this one looks amazing. You can see it just keeps kind of going up, like up to the top right, and that's what we're looking for. We don't want to trade with things that are just consistently flat or things that are opposite of this, where they start high and end low. So this kind of gives me confidence when I find things like this, that this is a system that I can use and I will feel more comfortable following the signals that I'm seeing with the system. Let's go ahead and open up this chart. We can click plot on chart and it'll kind of show us all the positions with the MACD and how we got all this data here. Hey there, News World. Thank you for joining today. Just saw your comment. Okay, so we're going to click plot on chart. And let's minimize this and close the Power Console. Okay, now I guess I have to close out of this too. So here, we'll get back to that screen. So we plotted it on chart. There's kind of a lot going on when you initially do that because it's pointing out all of the trades that it took and the positions and how it did over that time. So it shows us everything. Recently, it looks like there's a buy long position on Tesla, which don't follow this. I'm just showing you this, but with that information that we just saw, getting a buy signal today, that might be something I want to look more into. and apply other things that make me feel more confident too. I can look at candlestick patterns. I can apply other systems that I've tested that have worked well with Tesla and can compare, their signals, see what they're saying. Sometimes you might get reverse, things that are opposite, but if you get systems that seem to work out well together, you can get good confirmations, and it can really increase the power of the trade and the opportunity, and help you significantly like that. Let's see here. So that's how we can test for something to help us find a good system with all the different studies. Again, you can create your own studies with our formula language. We have an easy to learn formula language. You can type in your own buying criteria, selling criteria, stop losses, all that stuff, and you can get a bunch of all that data right in front of you to see how well it works, and you can tweak things until they work as good as you'd like them to. Of course, there's no holy grail, but we can always make things better. Let's see here. So yeah, that's that. Let me go back to the system tester though, because I want to kind of show you the difference with a chart like that. I'm just going to close all these, clean things up, go back to the Power Console. And then what we can do is we can click reports down here when we're in the system tester, and we can view the recent report we just did. Let me pull that up, which was today. There it is right here. The date. Oh, nope, that's actually not the right one. I still have it open. No, the expirations. There it is. It was right below. I was just blind. Okay, so we can click it, the report from today, click view, and we're back here. Now what I want to do is I'm going to show you the least profitable one. And we'll just compare because we saw something that looks good. So let's just click net profit until red is at the first. So Meta, there was a -5, so we lost 15% of the portfolio. We click that, we click view. Let's make that bigger. Okay, so with Meta using the MACD, overall we lost $7,000 trading 25% of that portfolio compared to buy and hold performance. That was a $4,000 gain. So, having that information, we can know that maybe I wouldn't want to use the MACD as confirmation on trades and stuff like that because it didn't do too well. The equity line in comparison, you can remember Tesla looked great. This is exactly what we don't want to see with the equity line, something that starts high and ends low at the bottom right. It started doing a little bit better here in the middle where it dropped to an all-time low here with the portfolio. And then we started kicking back up, but then again, we fell and kept going down. However, it has been sideways for the last, 200 periods almost, 120 periods. But yeah, so that's what that looks like. We can plot that on the chart as well to get a good idea of how just the difference. I guess this is going to show a lot of signals here, but you can quickly go through and see why it didn't work out well. And you can change those parameters. We did 2 years. You can say, hey, I want to see how good this did in the last 1 year, last 250 periods, because maybe the markets has shifted, from a year ago. And so you can change that and see how it's been doing, more recently. So you can always adjust that stuff and do as you please there. One great thing with the system testing as well, I know we just tested the MACD. You can select many systems. We can say, okay, we have our list of things that we found with the MACD. Let's compare. Let's grab 3 of these systems, or let's do different ones. We did the bull power one. Let's also do CMO reversal, and let's see, there's another one that, hey, look, there's MACD histogram stuff here. We could actually do that. Let's go down to that 7, and let's just system test with those. It'll be pretty quick. View results. Now we're getting somewhere interesting too. So here again, we can see between the 3 systems, how they performed over the 2 years. The CMO reversal seemed to have profited the most. So what we can do is we can go here, click on the CMO reversal, double click on it, and it'll zoom us into those 7 securities, or however many that I think is like 11, and how it performed over those. So if we click net profit again, you can see that this one, NVIDIA, was the best. Tesla was third. Tesla did well with this one. So you can start finding other systems that work well with Tesla, and you can see what they're saying on the day. But yeah, Tesla did well with this one. And that's how you can confirm other good trading systems and studies, by quickly scanning them on your lists of your choice and getting quick data on how well they worked over time. So a good way to confirm things as well, and find other systems or studies to use with other things like we just did right here. We can try to use this with the MACD and compare. I'll quickly click plot on chart, exit out of this, and here is the system applied. And look, same, not a recommendation, but we can see we're getting along here. It did well with Tesla in the last 2 years. We're getting double confirmations on things. We can use that stuff to help guide us and pinpoint onto things, which is what I think is really helpful. Then you have commentary, of course. This has a long buy arrow, but it says there's no trading signals today. I wonder if more like a confirmation has to happen. It's very possible. Yeah, so that's the system testing, and that's how you can kind of piece everything together. That's pretty much the end of the presentation. So, we kind of discussed how you can easily build your chart to your liking. You can find all the data you need. You can apply whatever indicators you would like, and then you can see signals and commentaries on the different studies available. So if you don't really know what's out there, Metastock is a great guide to kind of point you into different things and read different things as well. And then you can scan for opportunities and back test them to see how well they do. And we can easily, as you saw, pick other systems or studies to also look for additional confirmations and see how well they've performed in that amount of time. And just getting more confirmation and more confidence in our trades, which I think is very important, because a lot of the times it's hard to know when to get in, when to get out. Metastock's tools can absolutely help you with that. And I'm sure you probably can agree that it would be nice to have that kind of information in front of you. With Metastock, we do offer 2 different versions if you're interested in testing it out. We offer the real-time platform for those that like day trading. You can have access to all those intraday signal, or the intraday time frames. Going back to Metastock here, right here, the real-time software gives you access to all these time frames. The DC software gives you only daily up through yearly, and the data updates after the market closes. The RT software also does come with the Zenith, which is great for fundamental analysis as well. If you're into that too, you get global live news, financials, and all that. So not only when you're finding signals, you can quickly look up the company's overview and kind of see what's going on with the company, check their PE ratios and all that stuff too really quick, if you like combining everything, which can be extremely powerful as well. But DC alone, it's great. Having this kind of tool, these kind of technical tools available, extremely helpful. I'm sure you would easily understand that or see that yourself as soon as you got familiar with the software. So those are the 2 versions we have. With the pricing, there is a monthly base cost to lease the software with data. The real-time software starts at $265 per month, and then the end-of-day software starts at $69 per month, depending on the data you get. However, these are not permanent pricing. You can always change the structure of it by owning the software outright, and that's something I kind of help you with over time. So if you do decide to start on a trial, I will follow up with you and we go over all your options. But these are the base costs. That's the pricing, just very general pricing. The real-time software also has exchange fees for live data. Otherwise, you have a 15-minute delay. For any new users, or anyone that has tried Metastock a long time ago and is kind of coming back into the swing of things, you can get a 3-month trial. Buy 1 month, get 2 months for free. It's a great amount of time to help you understand the software. First, you can spend the first month learning things, spend the second month, paper trading, and then on the 3rd month, shoot your shot with all the different trades that you find that you're confident with. And hopefully it can easily pay for itself there, depending on how you're trading and your portfolio size. So yeah, use that link if you're interested in the 3-month trial. You can also contact me and I can set things up for you. We do have a premium training for the software. The software is huge. It has a lot of things you can do in the software. As we kind of went through some of it, I'm sure you can imagine how creative you can get with the tools. And some people might like to just kind of, move around in the software and learn as they go. But for those that want to really invest on their time and learn things faster, more in depth and better, we offer premium training. The link at the very bottom gives you access to a 3-month special similar to the Metastock deal. Buy 1 month, get 2 months free. In the Learn Metastock, you're going to have access to nearly 100 videos. They start at the basics and they move all the way down to advanced stuff. Of course, you're not expected to watch all of them, but you just learn as you go and you watch what you need to. I guarantee you're going to learn a lot more than if you were without the premium training. You don't need it, but it's a great tool to have by your side. All of my clients have expressed how much they love the premium training, those that get it, and there's even several that continue to pay the monthly fee just because of how useful it is. And there's other things included other than the nearly 100 videos. There's live training classes every week. There's formulas you can download created by the owner of the premium training, Kevin. He does a lot of great things. It's very good to include into your trial. So yeah, use that link or contact me if you have any questions. Of course, we will support you if you try the software. We'll help you install it if you need help. We'll help you answer any questions. We can set up a one-on-one appointment where a support rep will go through the software with you and just make sure it's kind of set up to your liking. And then, of course, we also have YouTube training, and we include an ebook and training videos with your trial, the 3-month trial. So you'll always have help. We don't leave you in the dark when you start a trial and when you continue to use our services. Again, here's my contact information. Save it. Call me for anything you need. Ask me questions that you have. I'm happy to show you more things. I can even connect with you and show you things that you want to see personally. I really do appreciate your time today. That's pretty much all we have today. Again, thanks for stopping by and watching what I had to show. And I hope to hear from some of you guys. Have a great day. Thank you.
Hi, Kelly Clement here from Metastock. Before you go, I have 2 quick things for you. 1, thanks for joining us today. We love having you here at our webinars and viewing our videos. So what I'd like to invite you to do before you go is like and subscribe. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us a great deal and it helps us bring you more awesome content like today's video. The second thing is we have a great ebook on trading that you can get for free. If you go to metastock.com/YouTubebook, you can get a free copy of The Secrets of Successful Traders. It's a great book with lots of content from traders just like yourself who can teach you some of the secrets that they have learned. Thanks for taking a second with me and learning about those 2 things. Thanks for joining us and keep on trading.